Hi everybody, this is Mr. Zoeller, and today I'm going to be presenting to you about how the United States was able to acquire Oregon, the Oregon country, and we'll be looking at our essential question and how did that take place. So our essential question is, how justifiable was the United States expansion in the 1800s? And in class we'll be discussing about when the United States acquired Oregon country, the way that happened, whether you felt that we had the right reasons to be able to do that. So for the Oregon country, this is located in the northwestern part of the United States today, for the most part. And so the land is going to stretch from the Rocky Mountains over here all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And then it's also going to stretch from Alaska, so the southern part of Alaska here, all the way down to, which at that time was Spanish California. And so by 1819, all this land was claimed by 4 different countries. We had Russia, Spain, the British, and the United States. The Spanish are going to be the first that are going to leave this claim, and that's because in 1819, after the United States and Spain made a deal with Florida, part of that deal was that Spain had to relinquish its claim to the Oregon country. And then in 1825, Russia is going to agree to draw their claim up here at the 5440 parallel line, so they would claim all of Alaska, and then they were predominantly in this area for fur trapping and making money off of that. And so in the end, it's going to come down to just 2 countries claiming the Oregon country, and that's going to be the British and the United States. And they're going to agree to actually have joint occupation, which means that both Americans and British subjects are allowed to live in the territory together. Now, the claim of the Oregon country for the United States is going to go all the way back to 1804 with the Lewis and Clark expedition, which we'll be learning about in class in the next chapter. And so Lewis and Clark and about 40 other men, the Corps of Discovery, along with Sacagawea, are going to be traveling from the Mississippi River up the Missouri River and crossing the North American continent, trying to find a water passage to the Pacific Ocean. And they're going to be traveling through this Oregon country, and so this is where the United States is going to claim that they have this land first, since they had the first explorers there. Lewis and Clark believed that over time there would be thousands of families moving out to this area of land based on the trail that they had blazed, but the path that they took was going to be very difficult for a lot of people, and so a fur trapper named Jedediah Smith is going to find a easier way through the Rockies, which is called today South Pass. And here's a photograph showing part of that. So it's a relatively flat area, and this is going to be where the Oregon Trail and a lot of other trails are going to go through as Americans are heading out to the west coast today of the United States. So for Oregon fever, missionaries are going to be the first group of people that are actually moving out to the Oregon country. So they have heard of natives being out here, and they want to spread Christianity and the Bible to the people that are there. And even though they didn't convert a lot of Native Americans, the stories of the land are going to go back to the people in the United States. And a lot of the tales that Americans are going to hear are going to be kind of tall tales. And one of the funny ones is that the pigs in the Oregon country are running around already fully cooked with a fork sticking out of them. So whenever you're hungry, you could just go and grab and eat a bite. So a lot of funny things they're saying. So for Oregon fever, it's just that people feel like, I need to go out there, I need to get there. The sooner I get there, the sooner I'm going to feel better. That's the idea of Oregon fever. And so the reports of great soil and farming conditions and forests that are there are going to attract a lot of people. So 1835, we're going to have 1,000 pioneers head out in covered wagons. And as you can see in the picture here, this will be the beginning of what's called the Oregon Trail. And I'm sure many of you might have played that in elementary school. I certainly remember doing that and having a lot of fun with that. And so that's going to come down to, over time, the British and the United States are jointly occupying the Oregon country. And then in 1844, President Polk is going to run on the campaign promise of getting the entire Oregon country for the United States, with slogans such as all of Oregon or none and 5440 or fight. And the 5440 line is where the Russia and the British line is up here where Alaska is. So President Polk's promising, we're going to get all of this land no matter what. He was a firm believer in manifest destiny. And in the end, we're going to be going to war with Mexico, which you'll learn about in the next video. And so President Polk and the British decided that they were just going to split the Oregon country in half. The United States would take the southern portion of the Oregon country. This is the 49th parallel, which is the treaty line between the British and the United States. And then the British would get the northern part of the Oregon country. So in the end, we got the Oregon country for free, We didn't have to fight for it, so no fighting was needed. And this is how the United States is going to have today the states of, as you can see here, we got Idaho and Oregon and Washington and parts of Montana and even parts of Wyoming over here. And then here's, as you can see, Jedediah Smith South Pass here, the Oregon Trail. And this is where thousands of people are going to be moving to and living. And the United States and the British are going to split it right here. And so you can see the British, once again, have the northern area, north of the 49th parallel, and the United States will be claiming the southern part of that. So I hope you learned a lot from this video. And this is Mr. Zoeller signing off. Have a good day.